So, welcome all of you to the Arts for Life series on the part C, that is the workshop and revision, and it is 10C, the art of learning and teaching. And as always, for the workshop, we spend a few moments reflecting on this art, asking oneself, am I an avid learner? Do I have the attitude of learning in myself always? And along with that, what are the things which on my spiritual journey I keep have to learn on a regular basis? And if you go on to the art of teaching, what is it that I can teach others indirectly, not directly, through my behavior, my actions? And what is it that the Supreme Soul is teaching me on a daily basis? And am I able to imbibe that in myself? And to what extent have I become a good teacher? Again, through my behavior and my actions. Can I teach someone? So, with these few thoughts, let's begin the workshop. I'll just stop sharing. Right. Yeah. So, I hope I was not cutting and it was all good. So, let's move further. We have been doing this since the month of March. Almost so many arts we have covered. Currently, we are on the art of learning and teaching. And before I begin the ice breaking, so let me welcome the facilitators today. So it's Sister Anu and Sister Harpreet from Vancouver. Welcome, sisters. And also, we have our tireless translators or interpreters and the recorders as well in the background who are doing their job. So a big thanks to all of you all and our very dear participants as well, who usually join on time, but sometimes they miss the icebreaker video. Well, so in our workshop, we have quite a few exercises to be covered in a span of 1 hour, 15 minutes. So we'll make sure we run on time. So in the interest of time, though we have less participants, I'll just move on to the icebreaker. So I'll just play that. It's around a 3-minute video and see related to today's art of learning and teaching. What insights do you get from the video? Okay, wonderful. A very intensive video. I'm sure you've got a lot of insights. If you can start writing in the chat box, will be helpful. Let's see how many we get. Are you all ready to teach us with your wisdom and also learn from the today's collective wisdom? Okay. Silence is golden, I know that. Okay, no problem. So, yeah, someone has written, yes. Thank you, Sister Diana, for always starting. Yeah, so it's come to me. I hope I don't know. It's coming to me as a personal chat. So if you can just disable that thing. So Sister Rena is saying sometimes we learn from experience, other times from watching others, right? And in the main chat box, we can see Sister Anu saying learning is exciting. Or the manual is saying that courage to do different things and learning new things in new ways. Oh, you'll have woken up now. Good. So Sister Prerna is saying inspired by watching someone's grounding and survival. Yes, of course. And Vijay sister is saying little birdie endured and was able to help others with its own experience. And Sister Hilal, I can learn by practicing myself. Fantastic. And I can teach by being a model. Thank you. It was fantastic summary. Sister Hilal ended with that. Okay, so I think Sister Anu just checked the chat settings. So people are saying that it
I
is
have.
disabled. Any others? And
No,
others are able
it's
to
now.
send.
It's enabled
Oh,
now. It's
yeah,
long
okay.
time.
And Harpreet sister is saying be example for others. Yeah, so let's be an exemplary phenomenon for others. And Herb is saying we learn something when we face obstacles. Yes, of course. And actually, I must say, obstacles are the stepping stones towards success and towards learning. Unless we have obstacles, we don't endure the obstacles, we really don't be successful. Yes, right. Yeah, okay. So I think quite a few sharings. And since it's my turn to share the summaries, I'll just go ahead and do that. So thank you all of y'all for being so proactive. And in a minute or so, you all did the great job. And let me just take you further in today's. I hope I'm right in the sequence. I'm supposed to share this, right? Yeah. Okay. So let's move first to what Sister Aruna had to say about the art of learning and teaching. It was 22nd November, 2 weeks ago. So she said, I will not be speaking about teaching more, except for the last few minutes or 5 minutes. It's more about learning because the person who's a good teacher is actually a great learner, an avid learner. So life is a school. Learning never stops, and we cease to exist the day when we know that we know everything in life. And it's a lifelong learning journey which we are on, all of us. Every day we learn something or the other. Failure is an opportunity to learn and grow. And she beautifully mentioned about Alvin Toffler that the illiterate in the 21st century are not those who can't read and write, but they are those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. And let me tell you, this is the process of adult learning, whereby we as adults feel, oh, we know everything in the world. So, most important is to unlearn first and then relearn. And if we don't have this learning mindset, it is called a fixed mindset. And we'll be, she said, life and world will be very limited due to a very limited perspective. Learning is not extra work, but it's an investment that pays forever. And whatever happens, I'm going on the second line, I missed that. It is to make us more and more enlightened. And therefore, it is said that people who are constant learners are enlightened because learning is directly related to the virtue of knowledge in the soul. And the more and more I become knowledgeable and practice it in my actions, I can become an embodiment of that, embodiment of knowledge, and therefore become enlightened. She went on to say a few medical benefits of learning that it keeps the brain alive, it sharpens the memory, of course, it does, increases the creativity, and all dementic disorders like Alzheimer's, senile dementia, all these where you have a cognitive decline, it delays that process. And it helps us to be empowered and makes us more courageous to face challenges in life. So, life is lifelong learning. Let's move further. A beautiful sentence she said, life is, I'm just trying to adjust these here. Life learning is the safest superpower. People speak about superfoods, people speak about economies having super economies in the world. But learning is the safest superpower as you never lose what you have learned. And as I mentioned before, you are a better teacher if you are a good learner. And she went on to mention the attitude of gratitude, that every thought we repeat by learning, it becomes a groove in the brain. And literally, it's a microscopic groove, and a lot of neural circuits are being formed constantly by learning process. So, and this is what we call the process in neurology as neuroplasticity, whereby your brain is very plastic, and particularly in children who are learning constantly, schools, colleges, universities, the more and more they learn, the more and more the neurons in the brain, they start developing more and more pathways with each other. And over time, this process it's called wiring. The brain becomes wired to notice blessings and not problems. So it depends which neurons we are developing. And further down in the process of how to learn, she mentioned two things: attention and emotion. So most important is attention. Like in the nowadays in the world of smartphones, our attention span has become so less that we don't pay attention to things, and therefore we can't memorize. So it starts with attention, and second is emotion. So anything which is having an emotional component, it remains in the memory for a long time. And therefore she said, when emotion fires, memory wires. And I also had asked in the question to her, it is said in neurology that the neurons which fire together wire together. So if there's anything in my memory track, any instance, any incident happened in my life, and which has an emotion associated with that, then it remains in the memory track forever. There are other ways to learn: repetition and spacing. So we repeat it, but we also space it for some time. Tell it, share it. There were many things she said. I'm just reading it out. Persist and insist, but don't resist. They are beautiful rhyming words. Break tasks into bite sized steps. Tie learning to purpose and identity, and continuous improvement. Okay. Next, sorry, I was a bit distracted by some chats. Teaching, she said a few words: the art of inspiring understanding, curiosity, and continuous growth. And again, we go there that a good learner will make a good teacher. And teaching is in one way modeling, not about the physical personality outside. It's about my internal personality, how I'm thinking, speaking, behaving. And that helps me to solve problems and handle mistakes. A few four liners on teaching. Teaching is relationship building, adapting constantly, creating motivation, and bringing clarity. It reminds me here of Asha Didi, who has been a great teacher. All the Brahma Kumaris would be knowing of her. She says she was a school teacher before coming into, rather a college teacher and a lecturer. So she used to say that while being a student, we really don't study so much. But when you're a teacher, when you go for the next day class, you have to deliver a lecture. You really have to study a lot. So as a teacher, your study becomes much more intense rather than when you're a student. So really, a teacher has to be a fantastic student, or a great student for that matter. We took a few questions with her. I have exactly 4 minutes in my kitty, so I'll do that. How does one improve attention span? Because attention is the basis for developing memory and learning. So, again, meditation is the answer. We always say that because it's focused attention on some particular point which you are focusing on in meditation. And therefore, in Hindi, we say dhyan. Dhyan means focus. And with a lot of attention, see that. As soon as you are out of meditation, get into whatever it is that you need to learn immediately, because it's a stable mind after meditation. So that you are carrying that wavelength, and this way it helps us to absorb everything. The brain becomes more absorbent, more focused after meditation. So that's the way. Therefore, our good old teachings in India is get up early in the morning. Rather than sitting up late, get up early in the morning when the mind is more fresh. Maybe even do meditation for 15 minutes, and you'll see, you'll just absorb like that. How can one control anger, which is an emotion? So She said that why am I getting angry if someone else is late? So I must understand that whoever is the response, whoever is working, I mean, whatever they are doing it from their perspective. But I must understand that I am not liking that, so it's my issue. So look at it at a deeper level and ask, is it about me respecting time, or is it that I do not like being late, or is it a sign of disrespect? So all these are my beliefs that I've created. But everyone's belief system is different. Those people may not think like that. So it's important that I don't disturb myself, learn to respect and learn to quieten. And this is one way self respect as well. Because the moment I get emotional and angry with someone, I am disturbing myself and I'm losing self respect there. So it's important to keep not a reaction, but a response at all these times. Okay, we have 1 more minute. Some experiences of Dadi Janki. She said that uh, Aruna's sister mentioned that when she was in the company of Dadi Janki, she would always say that in gatherings, I want to hear from others. Even after 40 years spending in the UK, Dadi went to live in India and she said that I am a learner. I have to learn new things. And when she came to the UK after spending 60 years in India, she took the red bus, which means the government buses. She again used to go for service without any awe of, I need car, I need this. No. How do you manage structured learning with courses, books, and intuitive learning that comes from experiences? So again, she said that intuitive learning is basically from your intuition. So go back to your root. And the root is the attitude that you want to learn. And that can only happen when you have this consciousness of being a lifelong student within you. And here she said adult learning is about, again, unlearning and relearning. So, with this, let me just stop sharing the screen. And again, that's her quote learning as a lifelong attitude. I think I've crossed into the exercise. I'm so sorry for that. So, let's go further. And I'll invite Sister Harpreet. Do you want me to kind of keep it shared or Sister Anu will share? You let me know.
I'm doing the share.
Oh, I'll just stop sharing it. Thank you.
Thank you, Manoj Bhai. That was a great review. Excuse me, my voice is a little bit under the weather. And so, what brother have shared, life is a school, and bring countless that opportunity to learn. For myself, is I love learning. That's why I never miss these classes. I think this is a great way of learning. And congratulations to all of you who are joining live or listen later. So this is a great way of us learning. So learning brings many benefits to our lives, and such as making us excel to perfect an opportunity to grow, stay curious always, like is what is happening, right? Keeps us humble, keeps us relevant with the fast changing world, etc. So learning is not only to get the degrees or learn skills, and also learning how to conduct the self to be positive interactions, right? I really liked this from Aruna's uh, class. What she was saying is the real emotion of us, as we all know that most of us are as VK students here, but even like is the real emotion is peace. So peace is in the like when we are in control of our inside, and the anger is when we are trying to control the outside. So this is something to be really pay attention to, is in the learning. So how am I feeling inside? Is am I in control? So that is a few things. So now we're going to reflect on what we have learned and how we can really go more deeper into that learning. So what would be your motivation to learn? Let's explore on that, like 2 to 3 minutes. And we are going to have why would you like to learn? So let's take a few minutes and explore on these two questions. We'll give you about 2 to 3 minutes. So don't think about too much. Just write down what is coming to your mind right away, those questions, answers for these questions. to getting answers? What would be your motivation to learn? Why would you want to learn? Okay, so let's hear from you what you came up with. Yes, go ahead, Jyoti sister. You want to share?
I would like to share, sister.
Yeah, go ahead, Neelu sister.
Yeah, for me, I think I would like to learn computer related skills. And because I'm from that generation where I'm not born with, having computer at home or in my hand. So I just, learned by myself, on job training kind of a thing. But I would like to, would like to learn, like there are so many different things in it. Not only because that I feel sometimes embarrassed, or that I think that others are going ahead of me, but because I would feel empowered, and then I'm not dependent upon others, because for many times for small little things, and then I laugh at myself, oh, that was so simple, that I have to, ask my son, and then he is busy, or I have to ask, others, and everyone is not, available at that time, or at work, all these younger generations, who are in their, early 20s working with me, and I have to ask them. So I want to be independent, and I want to feel empowered. That's why I would like to learn.
Beautiful sharing. Yes. So we want to improve ourselves, empowered, and you said is independent. That's beautiful. Thank you. Anybody else? So we got a couple answers, I think, in the chat as well. Let me get that.
Can I share?
Go ahead. Somebody else like to share? Go ahead.
So in the world, they say that a teacher's job is like they have to do homework so that they'll have something to do at their workplace. They will have work to do at their workplace. But in these times, in such dynamic times, just teaching and learning is not enough. I mean, you have to educate others. And from my experience, you have to be an educator, not just a teacher. And for being an educator, you need experience as well as knowledge. So unless I learn continuously, I won't be able to provide answers. And we need answers for the self and for others constantly throughout the life. It's very important to learn and keep learning.
Beautiful. Yes. So when we learn and we want to share that, that's why you know as you have learned well. Very well said. And thank you for sharing that, sister. So couple sharings in the chat too. To grow, adapt, to change and improve, to understand the world better, make wiser choices and remain and the relevant throughout life. So that's great sharing. Thank you for sharing that. And then we have Vijay Bhai is saying to be more self-sufficient individual and to be a valuable society. So that is well said as well. So learning is the fun and exciting, improve myself and bring understand to the world around me. Yes, that is important as well. As sister is sharing, is Denise, as a feeling of attainment to encourage and strengthening my intellect, and it destroys the strengthening and boredom. Yes, that's nice way of saying too. So learning have so many aspects when we have learned and then how we can grow, right? It gives a clarity about the particular subject area. It makes us wiser. And 2. Yeah, thank you, Sonia sister. So that's great. So anybody else like to open the mic and maybe share?
Yeah, I want to say today it's a big challenge because the job, the schools, the institutions, everything is challenging you to know things in a different way, to use apps, I mean, there's so much training that I have to do on my job that sometimes I don't even want it, but I have to open my mind and say, okay, I need to learn this. The technology is advancing. Um, Things are becoming obsolete. I have to learn the new ways. It's a big challenge too. I have to say that.
Yeah, because lots of things are changing very fast. So we have to be up to speed of learning all the time, isn't it? Can become a challenge.
Yeah,
But if you
keeping up is the challenge. So I think that part we need to address also, how to adjust the mind to adapt and change.
correct. Yes. Well
At
said. Thank you.
this point, I just want to bring attention to the sharing by Mahindra Thalalikar at the very beginning. Talks about that only. No knowledge is difficult if there is interest. There's so much vast knowledge, of course, and it's important to know what is helpful, practical, what are not. I mean, he mentions forbidden, so maybe I can just read quickly. There is vast info involved, depends interest and how to take it, digest and assimilate it, and then teaching and sharing others from different practical experiences we have witnessed in the video. The query here, how to know the true knowledge and forbidden one. No knowledge is difficult if there is interest. So what is helpful? Knowledge is taking me somewhere better.
Great. Thank you, Anu sister, for covering that. I think I missed that. And yeah, so it's very important. So there's another sharing is saying, my motivation to learn is to touch hearts of others by being a role model. So meaning that then I can teach to those who are in true with themselves, ready to learn. So very true. So anybody else? We have another maybe minute. We can take one or more to sharing if you like to share. Otherwise,
Sure, I'd like to share.
yes, come.
The motivation is to learning is like knowledge is a wisdom. It's my tools. And, the life is a test paper. Every second there's a test papers. So when I have that knowledge and then I can apply that and overcome any situations.
Well said. Yeah. So then we know how to deal with that when I have that knowledge. Very well said. Thank you, sister, for sharing. Okay. I think we are going to sum up if there's nobody else like to share. So that was a great sharing. Thank you, everybody.
Can I share something?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, just for, I feel that the generation today, the grandchildren are so advanced, and that I I really liked to be able to to keep my brain alive and to come to be relevant with the topics that they bring up, and so that is the main reason, and also to slow down cognitive decline at this age, and then this will increase my confidence, and the more I learn, the more I'll be able to solve problems with and be independent with no fear that I'm not able to to handle challenges and to face challenges. But I think mainly, if we want to get on, we really need to keep up with the young ones now. They are so advanced.
Correct. So the balance, right?
Yes.
Not always learning and not putting into practice. So there's sometimes can be a gap, because these days we can be keep scrolling and learning this and that. But if I'm not going to put into practice, and Aruna's sister said very well that on that too, right? So we need to put that as is the real, I can be example for others. What I learned, I am using that. Well said. Thank you, everybody, for sharing. So we will sum up. Time is really clicking fast. So we will share that, what we have learned. Thank you, Deepak Bhai. So there's a couple of the sharing what we have said. So there's a vast info in the world. So it depends interest and how to to take it, digest and eliminate that, right? So and the teaching and the sharing others from different particular experience we have witnessed in the video, the query. So sister have shared that. So how to know the true knowledge and the hidden one. No knowledge is difficult. Is if there's interest to grow, adapt to change and improve. Yeah. So to understand world better, make wiser choices and remain relevant throughout life, to get better in life and career. So definitely we want to keep learning that way, right? To be a more self-sufficient individual and to be a value to the society. So would like to learn computer related skills and from internet to be independent and improved. Yeah, so learning is a fun and exciting, improve myself and bring understanding of the world and around me. So that was a great sharing from all of you. They're looking at the time, and I think we will share those later with you. So thank you everybody for participating and sharing your experience. So I'll pass to sister and brother Manoj, I think, back, or sister Anu. Anu is going to share, actually. Thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah, we just changed the sequence last minute. So thank you,
Yes.
Harpreet sister. I'll be doing this sharing. Yeah, beautiful sharing. See, the learning and teaching is such an integral part of us. It really awakens in all of us. We are all excited to share, to really reflect on it. So, Sister Judy took us to the inner reflection of this topic, and just go through the. So, Sister Judy emphasized that learning implies transformation. How would I know that I have learned? Is that there's some change in me. Effective learning, teaching comes from the experience of constant learning. So, as I'm learning, I'm teaching, as somebody also said, like just by being me, as it shows in me practically. So, best method of teaching is watching somebody do something and then copying it. Or in other words, we say something that inspires us in others. Something deep inside is touched, and that's how it's not just copying it automatically. You take the learning. Sister said that learning and teaching go hand in hand. It's a balanced, so for the journey to be balanced and for wisdom to be distilled. Means learning and teaching goes hand in hand. As I learn, so I teach. So to be skilled as a learner is essential to the art of teaching. So teaching the self well is the art of learning. And then when you can teach yourself, you teach others. Sister Judy took us through really the four extensive reflection over, our situations, our time. It's very important that we stop and reflect on our life situations and what's happening. And most importantly, she said, what stays, what stands out. There's some emotional connection with that situations or scenarios. So to be able to stop and reflect and catch what are standing out and what is it telling me, so that what change can I bring in me. So that's how learning about the self is very important consistently. So for that, few questions. I'll not really go in details. You all know you will receive it in the review material. If you are not in our list of emails and WhatsApp group, please put it in the chat to myself or to everyone. Then you will receive all these summaries and the whole workshop review material. So few things, as she mentioned, the main people you interacted with, what's standing out, or what you are remembering at this moment spontaneously. So in the last 1 week, people, what main tasks you accomplished, where were you physically this week, and how did your body feel this week? How's your state of mind this week? What was the highlight from last week? Actually, in everything that you are observing, that points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you'll also catch that highlight. One main highlight maybe, or connected with all these aspects. Any challenges from last week? The greatest victory or success from last week? And what stands out? Why and what can you do about it in next week? So we didn't reflect before. From now on, we can do that every week. Can we reflect? What is that last 1 week or few days stood out? And learning empowers the soul. Learning elevates and reinforces the authority of my life. So these are a few questions we can all take on for our lifelong learning. And then for that, sister mentioned that, check yourself. How do you take the new information? So do you experience it or directly jump in to talk to others? Do you listen through your heart? Do you feel or sense your way? Like, how are you taking it? Or do I listen through my head? Am I looking for or stimulated by new points, overview, or framework? Both are okay, but it's about knowing yourself that what is that is the way I take learning. And for that, she emphasized on these 4 types of learning style. Diverger, the empaths and artists are divergers. So it's like they have the ability to view situations from many perspectives, and they understand the feelings. They are the reflective observers. They understand theirs and others. The empath is that which, like, over the time, like, they're absorbing and in like in an inclusive way for all. Professors, deep and analytical, as we know, they teach us, so they go deeper into the subject. Converger are practical. It's like they are problem solvers. They have active attention on the concept as well as the practicality of it at the same time. And accommodator are the activists. Are accommodators means, again, they are risk takers. They're the doers. They prefer trial and error. They thrive on social and action-oriented roles. So this is really nicely divided in order for us to see where do I belong, what is my learning style, and how do I learn, again, from head or heart, and spiritually, how can we expand it in understanding accurately and sharing for the benefit of others. So the takeaway of our next exercise will be based on this. As she said, that stop and reflect what stands out about your experience of last week, then draw meaning. What is the significance of that situation? What does it mean to you? Why that situation stood out? And also, both sisters, Sister Aruna and Sister Judy, mentioned that when there's an emotion involved, so it stands out. So what is that emotion that you're experiencing? Catching it, giving few minutes to reflect, to see what direction you want to give to that emotion is a real learning and benefit to the self and to others. Once we understand the meaning, we can apply to bring to life practically. So reflect, make meaning, see the experience, and create the way to apply. So along with this, let's move on now to the next experiment, our exercise, that is our action plan. Let's take just a few seconds pause to reflect on all that we have been hearing today. Learning is such a true part of us and so personal. So we need to really learn ourselves in order to have that true learning. Okay, so the reflection question will take action planning exercises enhancing true learning. What is a true learning? go through that. So for that, the first question we'll take on is reflect on one incident from last week that comes to your mind spontaneously. Just one incident at this moment from the last week. What is I hope you caught it spontaneously, not giving a lot of thought, but what is coming to your mind right now? Then we'll take the next one to draw meaning. That situation. Why did that incident stand out for you? What emotions you experience? It's a question to the self. This is the part of the reflection. I'm sure you all have gotten that one incident, one situation, and asking yourself why that situation stayed with me, what emotions I experience in that. And then comes the next question that you can address is, what do I have to do with it? Do I need to change something? So that would be the application part, that what would you change in your behavior in that incident, create a more positive experience if it was a negative situation that came to your mind. But in contrast, if a happy incident stands out, then reflect on your behavior, which you would like to preserve or enhance. So in either case, catching the emotion and making the change that is needed so that I can gain positive experiences, happy experiences. We all thrive for. So I'll give you a minute to kind of summarize, but put time on that third point. What would you change? I hope you have got that answer for yourself. This is enhancing true learning, focusing on the self. And this is what we can share later after 2 minutes more, that what change, maybe not what situation stood out for you. Maybe you can share a particular emotion if it is clear to you, but did you catch a certain thing that you can bring change in you that makes your life better, creating more positive experiences in that sense? We'll share that, but let's take forward another 2 minutes for the application part. Now, to apply the change, take 1 minute to visualize the same situation where now you are interacting with your changed behavior, and that is resulting in a positive experience. If it is a happy situation, you can still visualize the same situation, how happy it was, but this is the action planning to make any changes in my behavior and personality. Can you see the same situation, but now you are behaving in a different way? Let's visualize this. Minute for that. hope you could see yourself. I hope you saw yourself making some change in your movement, action, words, whatever you did. I'll close it with that quote from Sister Judy's talk. Teaching the self well is the art of learning. Then I can teach others well too. But particularly by being an example myself, or from my experience, I can teach. It becomes authentic, genuine from my heart. I'll stop it here. Anyone would like to share something out of this exercise? The change you are taking. Our great sister says in the chat, take time to listen with open heart. Response have a more compassion. Yeah. Open heart response and have more compassion.
Okay, shall I share, Sister Anu?
Yes, please go ahead, Venice.
Okay, so I have nothing to remember in last week because it was comparatively very normal and regular. But if you ask me about last year or the current year which passed, which was highly painful for me because of a series of many incidents which happened within the family, which I can't tell you the details because it was really painful and there was nothing we could do about it because it had already happened. So I was under the impression that I am a very detached person and these kind of things doesn't affect me very deeply. But I learned about myself that it is easier said than done. And when you really have to face such situation, because of the knowledge, we won't be absorbing it. And we can, counsel ourselves, but the pain remains, and it is very important to learn to overcome that pain and don't let it, reflect in interaction with others. And that is what I learned about myself, that I had to be more detached, more and more detached and more close to God as a Supreme Father, so that, such incidents don't affect me at all. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. It's knowing how to process it for myself. So not really detached, but maybe something negative, I don't want to bring it to others. So that, but by connecting with God more, yeah, and let it go. That way you can detach, maybe in a better way, spiritually, as we understand that gives power. Thank you, Sister Rehna. Anyone else would like to share?
Good morning, Sister Anu.
Yes,
I
good
may
morning.
have I had an experience. I actually love this exercise even when Sister Judy took the course class with us. And I think the exercise really helped me understand more about myself and also allowed me to give meaning to my experiences throughout the day or for that incident. So when I reflected today, I think last week I had a scenario, an incident at workplace where I thought in the conversation, I felt I was being misunderstood. And when I give meaning to it, I think the incident stands more because it made me notice how quickly emotions like frustration or defensiveness can arise. And I also felt that I needed to be heard, but that really influenced my response in the conversation. So the application for this, which I understand, is if this situation ever happens again, I think I would like to slow down, listen to it more attentively, and just express my thoughts calmly to create a more positive and a respectful exchange. So, yeah, it's been a very enlightening situation for me. Thank you. That's all from me.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Truly, yeah, the moment I can catch myself up, that what it is, right? To stop, reflect, understand, and change. And beautiful. I can relate to it as well for myself. Also, I think somewhere I need more patience, more compassionate to be able to stand there, to listen, to not judge, to not think, oh, this is negative, and I sometimes tend to run away from there, which is very bad behavior. So yeah, I can understand what you're saying. So I wanted to mention that. So beautiful to catch me. Anyone else would like to share anything? You see yourself with the new changed behavior in that same situation? That would also give a lot of joy. It gives such a deep calm. I can read few from the chart. Brother Manoj says, maintaining my inner stability always should be always my prime responsibility. Yeah, and then I think Mohindra Bhai says again, interest to learn is a goal-directed force arising from needs, desires, and cognitive processes that link our emotions, thoughts, and actions. This kind of related to the previous one. I know there's a big message from Sri Hilal. I would read that, but if anybody else would like to unmute and share something you caught that you want to change, or something you caught that you want to preserve. We have a silent group more, hopefully, or maybe you are still in the reflection mode, and that's good, reflecting on the self, so that we can teach others, right? Motivation. I'd really call anyone else would like to unmute and speak.
I think time is up. One more minute.
Time's up. Yes, let's
Sure.
do that. Let's wrap up. Beautiful. We'll take the learning with us. So Deepak Bhai, if you can share this. This is short now. More experience based. I hope you're taking the experience with you and the process to reflect, draw meaning, and apply. So take time to listen with open heart. Response has more compassionate. Learn to overcome pain and be detached, and come closer to God. Maintaining my inner stability always should be our prime responsibility, as Brother Manoj shared. Learn to reflect and manage emotions in workplace by listening and responding calmly. Interest to learn is a goal-directed force arising from needs, desires, and cognitive processes that link our emotions, thoughts, and actions. We can take this sentence as well. Thank you, everyone. Before I pass it to Brother Manoj, yes, somebody asked what is the WhatsApp number. You can share your WhatsApp number or email ID in the chat now to me or to everyone. Then we'll include you, and we will send you the review material, and you will receive the upcoming programs as well.
Okay, fantastic. Beautiful sharings. So let's now go in the meditation mode as always. So let's sit back, look at the beautiful canvas painting in front of you. It reminds you of a beautiful home, doesn't it? So sit back, take a deep breath in and out, and relax your body. And as you do so, try to focus your attention on the inner being, the conscient being that you are. The soul, the conscient entity, is the master of this body. And it's on this beautiful journey of life since so many births. It's in the process of constant learning and improvising on the self. If you look at your journey of the soul in this lifetime, look at it that when you were a child, when you were a college student, so on and so forth, you've learned quite a few things. You have achieved skills to carry on your daily tasks. But now, having realized that I am a soul on the spiritual journey, let me learn some new soft skills which are of paramount importance for me on the spiritual journey. And for that, I need the company of the Supreme Teacher, the Supreme Soul. And as I connect to that source, the powerhouse of all the virtues and powers I need, I fill myself with this energy of abundance from the Supreme Being. And all of us in this Zoom workshop today are at various different points on our spiritual journey. So today, from this workshop, let's strive that whatever we listen to in the spiritual class we call the Murli daily, let us imbibe that in us with the power of meditation by connecting to that source, to that powerhouse. Let me embody whatever I learn daily from the spiritual class. And let my behavior, my actions, my face, my character reveal the same. What the Supreme Father wants me to be. So, with this short meditation experience, let's come back and I'll stop sharing the screen, or rather, I'll just do the announcement, Sister Anu, and then you can do the photograph.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So let's go on to the announcements. As always, the part 10D would be the silence retreat, followed by this the next Saturday on the art of learning and teaching. It would be very prudent, and I would advise the people who haven't attended in the past can attend it. It usually is for BK students, it's mentioned there. For people, BK students means the students who are practicing regular meditation of Raj Yoga. But even those who are new to this, I'm sure there are a few new participants always. So you are also welcome to attend and experience this flavor of silence. That how do we go in the depth of silence and totally de-stress ourselves. And we move on to the next episode, that's 11A on the Arts for Life series. It's a beautiful one, Art of Revealing and Concealing. In Hindi, we call it Pratyaksh Karna, revealing, and concealing is to hide, Chupana. So it's on Saturday, 20th December. We have a very senior brother with us, Brother Ken O'Donnell, almost 50 years into knowledge now, more than 50 years. And he'll share his beautiful experiences on the same. That's our elegant calendar, which we don't have, sorry. That's our email addresses and the websites. And these are our playlists. You please feel free to see it on the YouTube. They start with omshanti.live/arts, English one, and the Hindi one is -Hindi as well. So please feel free to share your comments, queries, feedback, suggestions on how to improvise these workshops, which I'm sure you'll are enjoying. And anyone who's joined new, I'll just revise again. You all can please share your WhatsApp numbers or emails, whatever is comfortable for you, in the chat box so you can be intimated of the future events. With this, I'll stop sharing and over to Sister Anu. I would request all of you all to open your video camera so that we can take a photograph of you all.
That's right. Photograph. Okay, ready? Let's bring the excitement smile from within for our learning that we will carry and automatically teach others. Thank you.
Thank you. Over to you, Sister Anu.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, Manoj bhai. So, my video is loading. It's a bit big video, so it can take may take 1 or 2 minutes. Somehow it was a big file. So, as we all know, there is one sister who creates the video on the subject, on the topic, beautiful visuals. Enjoy, it's a beautiful one. Just maybe 1 or 2 minutes silence. Can we do that? For understanding. Almost there. Thank you for the question. I think we're learning if when we depend on technology, this kind of we can rely more on people around us. Connecting with the people is important. Okay, so let's look at it and see this a bit.
The art of learning and teaching. I salute every teacher in schools, in homes, in communities, and in life. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, your patience, your resilience, and your love. Thank you for showing us that every moment carries the potential to teach and to learn, and most importantly, Every encounter holds the possibility of growth. Thank you, God, the greatest teacher. The light of Baba shines through me. You are our world. You live in my heart forever, eternally. For you have.
Sorry. Okay.
The art of learning and teaching. Growth. Thank you, God, the greatest teacher. The light of Baba shines through me. You are our world. You live in my heart forever, eternally. For you have given me strength to endeavor. You are my most precious treasure. Thank you, God, the greatest teacher. The light of Baba shines through me. Teaching is the act of imparting knowledge and skills, while learning is the process of acquiring them. Teachers are keys to the art of learning and teaching that unlock the student's mind. You are guide to mold our mind. Thank you, God, the greatest teacher. The light of Baba shines through me. You told me to listen to my heart. You told me read between the lines. God, Father, you are one of a kind. You told me to forgive and forget.
I think today we'll end it there. You'll receive the song in the review material. We will put a link. But thank you everyone for today. And yeah, see you again next time. Let's keep moving and growing with everyday learning. Thank you.